up, guys? Tambo here with your weekly core report. We're coming off of Thanksgiving, and our members and experts had a ton to be thankful for last week. Let's get to the winners. In the NBA streets, Ash Frank NFL won $1,500. NYG fan used AP's heat map to win $1,800. D-Rex26 hit for $4,500, and new subscriber Tom hit for $15K. Fur PBC shipped for $33K, while the Man 11 had yet another huge payday, shipping for $100,000. RPS continues to dominate all sports, including World Cup soccer. Our team has been crushing it with the content, and we have the receipts to prove it. Go Boys 18 hit for $1K. New member Wes Ray won over $1,300. Jaime's content helped Poker Pastor get through a tough time, hitting for $2K. Big T won over $20K. Rubio's hard work grinding out soccer content paid off with a $20K shipper. Well, the biggest winner was RPS member Eddie, who turned $500 into over $30,000. Our NFL content has been on fire all season, and we didn't let the Thanksgiving holiday slow us down. We have plenty of free content available on our YouTube channel daily, so make sure to subscribe right now to access the winners. DK for 5 hit big on Thanksgiving, winning $10K. C Jacobs 986 joined him, shipping for $15K. On the main slate, Racing Jason 910 hit for over $6K. LT Dog 24 shipped for $50K, while my own heater continued, winning my first FFWCC. For Showdown, our guy Hoop was a big winner, shipping for over $100K across sites. He used his core plays laid out for our premium members, including a low-owned Jelani Woods, who ended up breaking the slate. Shout out to YGuy223, who won over $9K as well. Congrats again to all our members. If you want to be featured in the core report, drop your winning lineup in the Members Never Win channel in our premium Discord. If you're not a member, join now. You won't find a better value with all sports included for one low price. And while you're watching, hit that like button now. Remember, if you're not winning with us, you're watching us win. Till next time, let's keep running pure.
All right, Friday news dump. We're going to get you all of the important injury news from the NFL. For those of you that were over on the NBA side in the premium chat, thanks for coming over. We know that the NFL is more important than the NBA. Anyways, Crane is here. Tambo's down on the beach. Crane, I just learned that Tambo is not a large individual. I thought he was like 6'2" and yoked and everything. Everybody's telling me he's like 5'3" and not yoked.
Okay, you know what? 5'3" is not that bad. I just want to point that out. And you know, no,
how tall are you?
I'm 5'6".
Oh, so you're really 5'4". Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm a real 5'6". I used to claim 5'7", but you know, we get older, we stop caring. So
yeah,
5'6" is where it's at. We can reach all the small cabinets. I'm just tall enough to give high fives to like Tony if he squats down. It's good times.
All right, enough dicking around. The NBA guys kept me around too late. So let's get into there's so much news going on. And I think we'll just start with Josh Jacobs then, because that's the latest news that came out. Jacobs questionable week 13 against the Chargers. He's got that calf. It was up in the air whether or not he was going to play last week. How great a spot is Josh Jacobs in? And will you go to him this week after last week?
You know, it's going to be tough for me to go to Josh Jacobs because there are just so many other running backs in this kind of tier. You got Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Saquon, Eckler, McCaffrey. Like, you have so many good running backs in this low 8, mid 8K range. So I don't think I'm going to end up on Jacobs. If he misses, like, I'm going to want a little bit of clarity as far as who's going to start. Is it going to be Zamir White? Is Amir Abdullah going to get those snaps? If we can't get clarity, I don't think I can play either of these guys. I guess White would be the guy because he's more likely to get the goal line carries, but I don't know. I hope Jacobs plays because I'm just going to ignore it if so.
I think we got a bombshell that no one's talking about right now. Justin Fields is going to play. Okay.
Yeah.
Off the injury report. Nobody's talked about him this week because he was on the injury report. He can't throw the ball. So they got Green Bay this week. 7,400. I can't imagine he's going to be highly owned. And before he went down, every week we were saying, we got to play this guy. We got to plug him in. So do you plan on having some Justin Fields this week? Because I think if I'm making my 8 lineups this week, one's going to have a Fields.
I mean, here's the problem with Fields. Actually, there are a few problems with Fields. First off, when we were playing him every week, he was 6K, right? Like
And now
he
he's
was really
74.
easy to fit in. Now he's 7,400. He's priced 400 cheaper than Lamar. Okay, Lamar's a bad example because he's just been terrible. He's
Horrible.
priced 600 cheaper than Jalen Hurts. He's priced 900 cheaper than Mahomes. He's priced what is that? 500 more than Joe Burrow. So like he's in this range with these absolute studs now. And look, I don't love the matchup. Do we really think he's going to be running the ball 20 times when he's coming back from injury?
Yeah.
I have enough concern about it that he's not going to make any of my builds. And like, if that beats me, it beats me. I think it was a different discussion. If he's 6K, all right, I'm going to be willing to roll the dice there. 7,400 though, I mean, you need that 30 piece. So he's probably not going to make my lineups.
Okay. I just want a little piece of that. The shoulder is obviously not where it needs to be, but he's going to be running his ass off. And
like, do you think he takes off?
Yeah.
Like, takes off a ton?
What else is he going to do?
Lose?
Like, seriously, if you
up?
can't throw the ball well, what else are you going to do? He's going to run.
He's going to put it in David Montgomery's hands a lot.
Probably. And there you go. And that might be another avenue to go through. You know, David Montgomery with this, with the Justin Fields issue, but he's an RB1 at 7,400. Question is what's it going to take away? Okay. Deebo Samuel, questionable with his quad, deep thigh bruise, took a helmet to the quad. It hasn't healed as quickly as Shanahan said, but, they were thinking about doubtful earlier in the week. Now he's questionable. CMC is off the injury report. I mean, at this point, like Deebo Samuel just has not had the numbers that he had last year. He's not getting as many opportunities. He's been banged up. So any interest in Deebo this week in that game against Miami?
Yeah, if he plays at 6'6", I have a little interest. You started talking about him, I sort of expect him to be in the mid sevens. And he's not in at 6'6". This San Francisco, this team's going to drive me nuts all year because they're going to score points, but they've got just so many mouths to feed. McCaffrey, Deebo, Ayuk's been good. Kittle, Elijah Mitchell, when he's healthy, he's a guy that they're going to give the ball to. So it's really difficult when all these guys are healthy to play any of these guys. That said, Deebo at 6'6", like, that's probably a little too cheap for him. Will he make my, like, if I'm multi-entering, would he make the list? Yeah, I think so, but he's not going to be a core piece.
Okay. So no, I'm off Deebo myself. We'll move on to Jamar Chase, who's on track. He's optimistic to play. I think there's a lot of narrative going around here, right? So you had, who was it? The Reed, the safety for the Chiefs, comes out, calls T. Higgins Hurst. Then Higgins is wearing a Hurst jersey. Chase is calling Reed a pussy on Twitter. I love this game. Jamar Chase, is he the wide receiver we should be playing if you're playing one guy? If you've got a Chiefs run back, or should it be Higgins or maybe Hurst?
No, I mean, he's going to be the receiver I'm paying up for this week. I'm also playing Burrow. So,
okay.
I'm going to be all over this Chiefs team because we see these home dogs in games that are going to shoot out, which this game's got the highest total on the slate. Like, they're going to be slinging it. And historically, these guys do really well. And you get Burrow, a guy at 6'9", who's going to run the ball. We know he's going to throw the ball a lot. And he's getting his favorite weapon back in Jamar Chase. And it's a great matchup for Chase. You can't really play Higgins at 7'2" with Chase back. Boyd, I don't mess with Boyd when everybody's healthy. Like, Jamar Chase feels a little bit too cheap for me in this spot. And he's got as much upside as anybody on the entire slate. So why wouldn't you play him in this game environment?
So you're totally against Higgins and Chase, just counterproductive there.
I mean, Higgins, look, when Chase is in, Higgins should be like mid sixes. I mean, I'm not paying 7.2 for Higgins. I'm not doing
okay. All right. We've got Mike Williams out again for the Chargers. We got Keenan Allen saying that the Raiders secondary is barbecued chicken. He says he's bringing Slayer back this week. Allen, do we trust Josh Palmer again? What do we want to do here with the Chargers with Mike Williams out? Because I love this game more than any of them.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I mean, this game, it's a good game, and Keenan Allen feels a little bit too cheap at 6'5". Josh Palmer, we've seen him have some absolute duds, and we've seen him absolutely smash it. If you want the upside play, it's Josh Palmer. Keenan Allen's the guy. He's more likely to go 10 for 100 and a score, which is obviously going to be on the winner if he does at 6'5". But I think all these guys are in play, and no Mike Williams. It's like you just want exposure to this. Keenan Allen and Josh Palmer, they're too cheap for this total, for their roles. It's not like Justin Herbert's a guy that's going to spread the ball around a ton. It's going to Eckler, Allen, and Palmer. That's it. And when a route tree is that narrow, you got to like these guys.
I like it. I mean, and I just saw the stat today. When Justin Herbert starts, the Chargers have given up 26.8 points per game.
Hold on. Wait, why do you care about that stat?
Because they have no defense, and now it's just another stat to pile on. The Raiders are going to score. The Chargers are going to score. I got such a hard on for this game this week. I mean, I might bust before the game even starts.
That's a terrible stat.
It's a wonderful stat.
That's a terrible
great stat. What's going to happen? What's going to happen when the Chargers defense gives up 27 points this week and Devontae Adams has 140 and 2 touchdowns?
That's fine, but if they give up 27 points, I don't think it matters whether
because Justin Herbert's starting.
That's a terrible stat.
Love it. Best stat I've heard today. Brandon Cooks is out. I don't care about that. I mean, come on.
Really?
Yeah. But you unless you're going Nico Collins, you going Nico the Freako?
It wouldn't shock me if Nico ends up being one of the most popular plays on the slate.
Okay. Yeah,
he was going to be. Why not?
They're scoring 13 points per game. They don't move the ball, and I think that if you do you need a touchdown out of Nico? If 5 catches and 55 yards, is that going to pay off for you? Is that
I mean that if there's no other value that gets there on this slate, he's 40. What are you talking about? That's his ceiling. He's 4,200. He sees 9 targets a game, and now he's going to be the number 1 receiver. What's not to like?
Because they're going to be all over his ass. I'm telling you, this is not Nico Collins. Who else was on Nico earlier today? All right, you're taking a stand on. You're dying on the Nico Collins hill, is what it sounds like.
I think Nico is one of the most obvious plays in the entire slate.
Just what's ownership on him for you? How much you got?
I'm seeing 15% right now. Anything
I'm talking about you. Like how much are you going to have?
Oh, I would go like 40-50% if I'm multi-entering for sure. I don't. The guy's good. They're going to throw him the rock. He's 4,200. He might get 10, 11, 12 targets. Like what? Okay. I understand the Texans stink, but they still have a team total of almost 3 touchdowns here. Like,
which again is an under bet. Like if you're not betting under 19.5, I don't know what you're doing. That is that's a horrible line too.
Even if they score 2 touchdowns, like it's either going to be him or Dameon Pierce. Where else are they going?
No, and listen, who are the other guys we're looking at? Khalif Raymond in the price range, a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, and look at it like this: if you think Cleveland kicks the shit out of them, they're going to have to be throwing the ball.
I'd rather who's the other guy? Chris Moore, and Chris Moore has got to be at least $1,000 cheaper.
He's exactly $1,000 cheaper, and he's way worse than like.
I'll take the 1,000 savings with him over fucking Nico Collins this week.
Yeah, you're gonna lose.
But we just spent a lot of time on Nico Collins, and we probably shouldn't have. Another shitty offense, the Broncos. Cortland Sutton had a tummy bug. He might be out. Jerry Jeudy could be back. This is another one. Do we really want to mess with the Broncos offense?
I mean, if Jeudy is back, like you just write them all. It's one thing if Judy's out, like. Okay, you might see 10 targets out of Sutton, but again, I can get that for 1,300 less with Nico Collins. So I don't know. Sutton last week, 8 targets, 6 catches. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
People say, you got it, Kendall Hinton, but Kendall Hinton's another guy. It's like, 4 targets, 3 catches. If he gets in the box, you got lucky. It's about
like if I'm paying in the mid 5s for a receiver, I don't want it to be on a team that's going to not score.
We got some really big running back news. All right. Yep. First of all, Travis Etienne is good to go. So you got like a little Etienne, right? He's in a nice little spot in that Detroit.
I always like Mr. Etienne. I mean, I've seen some talk about, Hasty might continue getting more. Look, I'm playing Etienne at 6'4" this week. Like he's a stud, man. And he gets an amazing matchup against the Lions. It's kind of like a don't overthink it spot.
Yeah, and then we'll just move on here because we got Najee Harris saying he's good to go. So the value of Jaylen Warren is gone, and it's against Atlanta. I mean, do you really want to trust Najee Harris? I don't.
I think it's 6'1". The price is he's 6'1".
He's 6'1".
Yeah. See, God,
I was $100 off. I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
I'm
What are
giving
you
you wrong
doing?
the pricing by $100 on Najee because I crossed him out.
I don't think he's that crazy.
Okay.
Like, I mean, he's gotten 20 carries in 2 of the last 3 games before he got banged up. Like, at first, I was worried about Warren. They were talking about getting Jalen Warren more work. They're not doing that. So, to me, Najee, like, the matchup is really good, and I don't think it's crazy for 6-1.
Okay. All right. I do, but you've had some nice calls, is all I'll say. It's an ab injury. He's already got the foot. I mean, I just don't want to mess with it. There's a lot of injuries going on with Najee, but you're right.
I will say, I think it's unlikely that Najee kills you. Like, if you fade him, he's going to have to get in the box twice for him to really hurt you missing him.
The next one's an interesting one. Zach Taylor says Joe Mixon's still in concussion protocol. If he's cleared, he's going to play. So he was limited in practice this week. This is a tough call here. That's a shootout game. A lot of people think it's going to shoot out. So let's say if Mixon's in, is he a play? If he's out, is Perine a play for you?
Man, I mean, nobody's going to play Mixon if he's in. Like, I'm seeing projected ownership at like 9-10%. I think that's a little high. Like, it's going to be tough for people to click that button coming off the concussion. If he misses, is Perine in play at 6K? Man, I mean, he catches enough balls that it's interesting. And if you would want to go Burrow, Perine, Chase, I don't think that's bad. But that's a tough price to play for Samaje Perine.
Yeah, it's it was in the low 5s when he was starting.
Yeah.
What was he last week? 5'5", 5'6", maybe? Was he 6K last week?
He was 5'6", and
5'6",
and he did fine. He got 19 points last week. The week before he was 5'1", got 30 DK points. And obviously, if he hits 30, you're gonna need him.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if that one happens. On the other side, Jerick McKinnon is back. So I think if you were playing Pacheco, if you were one of those guys that was playing Pacheco, to me, it just seems like that's over. McKinnon's gonna bite into his work, isn't he?
With McKinnon.
Actually, he doesn't even run. But I mean, passing. Yeah, but Pacheco's not even in the passing game much, is he?
No, you just ignore this running back situation. Yeah.
What about Zonovan Bam Knight with Michael Carter doubtful? I mean, last week on the Up to Lock, we got to get Michael Carter in there. Listen, maybe it was a good play, maybe it wasn't, but the dude got hurt. So Zonovan looked good. You want to trust this guy because there's some value there, right?
Look, he's a 4.6K starting running back. Yeah, like you have to consider him. I don't like it. Like I hate playing guys like this, but they just always freaking hit. Like these guys never miss. So, I mean, not at 4.6. Like, it's tough for them to really shit the bed. Like, if he gets 12 DK points, you're sitting fine. You'd rather him get more, but, like, you're sitting fine. So, the floor is really high. I shouldn't say the floor is really high because Ty Johnson's going to be getting the passing work, which is an issue. But, I mean, he might get 15 carries at 4.6K. Like, he's just a good play. And he's kind of like a last piece in for me rather than a guy I'm forcing into my lineups. But, yeah.
Okay. And then we got the Washington Giants game, which I kind of look at as going to be ugly and nasty, but Antonio Gibson, questionable, and he was downgraded. So Brian Robinson against the Gigantes here, the Giants. I don't think people are going to be talking about Brian Robinson. If Antonio Gibson's out, don't we have to throw him in the pool?
I mean, if Antonio Gibson's ruled out, people are going to be talking about Brian Robinson.
Yes.
Again, starting running back, no competition at 5.3K in a good spot. Yeah, you have to be interested in Brian Robinson. It's not like, some of these teams, like when the running back gets hurt and they don't really trust the backup, they're just going to throw the ball 45 times. Washington ain't doing that with Taylor Heinicke. So, like, I think Robinson's a fine play. Again, kind of like a last piece in rather than a core play, but I think he's fine.
And then we got Njoku out, and he's just been a godsend. But we need to have a conversation about the Cleveland offense. Chubb is in a smash spot. We don't know what Deshaun Watson's going to be doing, do we? I mean, does he just step in? He hasn't played 2 years. He throws a lot, possibly. To me, it's like Nick Chubb.
We have no idea.
We have no idea.
We have no idea.
Just Nick Chubb. We know Nick Chubb's going to touch the ball a lot, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say they might try and protect Deshaun Watson a little bit and give the ball to Chubb a little bit more often. But I can't pretend that I'm going to predict this thing. I don't know what he's going to do. And, by the way, if he throws a ton, he might be terrible. This guy hasn't played in a couple years. Like, he might just be awful. So, I'm not excited to play these Cleveland guys nearly as much. Like, I like Chubb, but again, he's kind of in a bucket of other running backs that are expensive that I like this week. So Chubb's a great play. Amari at 6'4". Look, if they have Deshaun Watson throw the ball a ton, I guess, but you're just guessing. No, anybody who gets on here and says, no, I know what the Browns are going to do is full of shit. Like, you just don't know, and we're not going to know until it happens. The only thing we can be sure of is that they're going to give Nick Chubb the ball a ton. Yeah. He's by far the safest option on this team, and it's not even close.
I think he might be the safest option this week, in all honesty, right? I mean, and I just climbed the ladder with him betting. 100 yards a touchdown, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, 150, 2 touchdowns. Just boom, boom, boom. This should be one of those weeks. Him, Eckler, Jacobs, Henry. Last one here, and this is not going to take long to discuss, but John Wolford back under center, week 10 against the Cardinals. Good. 212 yards, a touchdown, a pick. He actually threw the ball a couple times. My God, this is a bad scene with the Rams, man. Like, Seattle's in a good spot offensively, and Seattle's going to be a really popular choice defensively. Is there anybody on that team you want to trust? Anyone?
No. I mean, but how bad is it that the Rams have a higher team total than the Broncos?
It's
good job, Russ. Way to go.
It's so John bad.
Wall has a higher.
Oh, it's so bad. Buddy.
I mean, you see the Broncos more than anybody.
Seriously, if I didn't get paid to watch them, I would be pissed off watching that team. And it ruined my 1 o'clock slate last week. It was a great slate, but I couldn't watch the end of those games until the Broncos were over. And thank God they're not playing in the 4 o'clock hour this week. Thank God. I can actually watch good games that get them out of the way early. By the way, Lamar Jackson, I don't know. He's got that quad, but he was taken off the injury report. Maybe he runs at will on the Broncos. They got problems defensively too. Their defense is great. Well, hasn't been since Chubb left, but I still think that game is closer.
Yeah, this Baltimore offense, I'm not playing any of the running backs. I like Lamar. I can't click 7-8 for Lamar right now. I can't do it.
He's been bad.
And look, there will come a week, okay? There will come a week when Lamar gets off the schneid, puts up 40 on DraftKings, and we also, why didn't we play Lamar? He was in this great spot, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. It's going to happen. If it happens this week, it's not going to be for my teams.
Join the club. Makes 2 of us. Yep. All right, Crane. Good stuff. We'll have Tambo back next week. Probably he'll be back from the beach. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. We'd appreciate that. Subscribe to our channel, bottom right-hand corner. Don't forget, we got our Sunday morning lineup, and it starts with Tambo. I think Tambo's going to be doing it this week. Maybe he's not. JT Hayes will be there. AP will be there. That starts things off. What is that, 8:45, 10 o'clock? It's the Wood, Crane, Hoop, Big T, Up to Lock show with me, JSU, and Dunkel starts, about an hour and a half before lock. We get you the injury reports. The final injury reports, we take your questions and everything else. Crane, good to see you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Hey, wait, babe. Yeah. Tambo, if you're watching, good luck out at the King of the Beach.
Yeah, I hope you win something, Tambo, because you kind of sucked lately. Jesus, every week the guy's winning like 60K. It's absolutely amazing. All right.
These bums.
Helmet, get us out of here.